कैसे शिफ्ट कर क्या। लाइट चेक का मदर फोन तो नहीं बोलो का मीटिंग में आ रहा है। हाँ हाँ प्रभु।
Recently engaged, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah, recently married. Okay, wonderful. Okay, yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Many congratulations. So, Nanda Gopal Prabhu, we should start.
And you know, almost everybody's gone to Sadhusanga, right?
Yeah,
You know, that's why there's a small.
that's good. At least 5 people should be there. But you'll have to sit up.
Otherwise, you'll be sad.
Yeah, then whatever is comfort, what seat is comfortable for you, but it should be elevated seat. That is.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hari Parshad ki
What means Jai.
jai. Jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It's echoing like the voice from the sky. Hare Krishna. Alright? ठीक है, ठीक है. It echoes like the voice of the Devtas from the sky. Oh, Kamsa! Alright, thank you, thank you. Hare Krishna, thank you very much, dear devotees, for kindly being present here. I'm so happy to be at the home of Nanda Gopal Prabhu and Mataji and Prabhuji's Anjana Mataji and Anil Prabhu. So, three of you, wonderful family. Anybody else?
Sister
Visiting. Okay. What are their names? Pujya Mataji.
and Varshna.
Varshneya. Oh, wow. What a nice name. Varshneya. Belonging to Vrishni's dynasty. Varshneya. Oh, wonderful. So, welcome Varshneya Prabhu, Pujya Mataji, Anjana Mataji, Anil Prabhu, and oh, what is her name?
Parivi.
Parivi. Seems like Gujarati name. Ah, acha, acha. And Nanda Gopal Prabhu. So thank you so much for kindly being present here. I'm so happy to be in this wonderful home. The home is decorated very nicely. Thank you so much, all of you, for kindly inviting all of us, opening the doors of your home. Palanam Rodhanam Balam. Children have one strength. They exhibit that strength from time to time, but it is good. And it's very auspicious when a house has children in it and the children are alive and making good noise. But dear devotees, today we are here. I'm very fortunate to be in the presence of all of you, especially my sincere thanks to Mother Urmila for kindly being present here. I've been serving in Shastric Advisory Committee with her for since 2016, and since then I have given her a lot of headache, but she said she kindly tolerated for so many years. So as long as she can tolerate, I'm testing her limits every year, but I hope she will continue to tolerate me. as she has done for all these years. Thank you so much, Mother Urmila, for kindly being present here. Also, Mother Leela Shakti, thank you so much for kindly being present here. She is wonderfully managing the community at ISKCON, Goloka Dham, and all the wonderful devotees. I have been told that Goloka Dham is the second fastest growing community in the entire North America. So, if you can guess, the fruit of the pudding is in the eating. So, the devotees, Mataji's very nice efforts have finally borne fruit in the form of a very nice thriving community here. And there is also wonderful Gurukul, which is also there is Mother Umila's daughter, Champakalata Devi, who's been assisting with the Gurukul very nicely. So, dear devotees, I am very happy to be in the auspicious presence of all of you. Today, I am here to sell some paintings once again. Every year, I try to bring some paintings and I try to sell them. But few devotees purchase. I hope today devotees will purchase more. Okay, dear devotees. So these paintings are not paintings for sale. You don't have to give money, but these are paintings through Sri Rupa Goswami's wonderful literature. What is the name of the literature? Padyavali. Padyavali is a generic term for all the verses that have been composed by previous acharyas. So this particular collection of verses is from Sri Rupa Goswami's Padyavali. I'll try to speak upon it, but before I speak, there is auspicious invocations, Mangalacharan. So I'll quickly chant Mangalacharan. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम राम। श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Welcome, dear devotees, to today's presentation on Padyavali paintings. I am so happy once again to be here. Dear devotees, no program can begin ideally without glorifying the audience. Please tell me who is more important, speaker or the audience? Please tell me honestly, who is more important? The audience is more important. Sri Rupa Goswami glorified his audience. And all of you are present here today as the audience. Dear devotees, the audience is compared by Sri Rupa Goswami to various wonderful entities in this universe. Sri Rupa Goswami gives us an example in one of his verses in the Lalit Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav dramas. he composes a verse for all of you, dear devotees. This verse is for all of you. Would you like to hear a verse for all of you?
Please.
So, dear devotees, I'll try to sing it. This verse is in the meter Shikharini, same as Jagannath Ashtakam. I'll try to sing it. Kindly try to sing along with me. All right? गभीरोऽप्यश्रान्तं दुरधिगमपारो वेदराम् अहार्यां मर्यादां दददपि हरे स्वदमपि सदां स्तोमन्यदं समग्रे स्थगयितुम् विकारं स्वारं जरनिधौ प्रभवति. The meter is Shikharini. So there is a rule that the name of the meter should fit within the meter in Sanskrit poetics. So every meter's name should fit within the meter. This meter is Shikharini. Shikharini means wonderful juice. Today we call it Shrikhand. How many know Shrikhand, right? Huh? Wonderful cooling juice known as Shrikhand. So Shrikhand previous name is Shikharini. This meter is Shikharini. Rupa Goswami says, I am going to ask a few questions. Please answer in yes or no. All right. The ocean, Gabhira. Is the ocean Gambhira, very unfathomably deep? Yes or no? Right. Ashrantam. Is the ocean turbulent, dear devotees? Yes or no? Duradhigama Paro. Is it difficult to reach the other side of the ocean, dear devotees? Nitaram Aharyam Maryadam. Even though it is so vast, doesn't the ocean usually maintains Maryada, fixed boundaries? And Harer Aspadam Api. Isn't the ocean a residence of Hari? Does Bhagavan reside in the ocean? Acha, dear devotees. Usually the ocean maintains fixed boundaries. But Udayati Samagre Sthagayitum. When the full moon arises over the ocean is unable to contain itself. It swells over and breaks its boundaries. Do you agree? Similar is the heart of all of you, Vaishnavas. Gabhira. Isn't the heart of the Vaishnavas unfathomably deep? Please tell me. Hey, don't be humble, huh? Say yes or no. Huh? Isn't the heart of the Vaishnavas unfathomably deep, dear devotees? Ashrantam, isn't it turbulent due to separation from Krishna? Duradhigama Paro, isn't it difficult to reach the other side of the Vaishnavas' hearts? Aharyam Maryadam, but they maintain fixed boundaries of Vaidhi Bhakti externally. Isn't it so? And Harer Aspadamapi, isn't the heart of the Vaishnavas a place of residence for Bhagwan Hari? Right? But when the full moon Krishna Chandra rises over the hearts of the Vaishnavas, he makes his first appearance within the hearts of the Vaishnavas. These Vaishnavas are unable to maintain their boundaries of Vaidhi Bhakti. Suddenly their hearts swell and they start crying and the ocean breaks its limits, dear devotees. It expresses itself in the form of tears, etc. Isn't it true, dear devotees? This verse is for all of you. For whom did Rupa Goswami compose the verse? For the speaker or the audience? All of you are glorious. And that is the reason why I am here to speak, dear devotees. Thank you so much for kindly being present here today. We will begin with a quote by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says something in his introduction to Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, Prabhuji, you have a loud enough voice. Prabhu, kindly read what Prabhupada says.
A man searches after the love of a woman because he is imperfect. He lacks something. The love of a woman, that potency and pleasure, is absent in a man. And therefore, a man wants a woman. But this is not the case with Krishna, who is full in himself. Thus, Krishna expressed surprise. Why am I attracted by Radharani? And when Radharani feels my love, what is she actually feeling?
So, dear devotees, Srila Prabhupada says, a man searches after the love of a woman in this material world because he lacks something. And that potency and pleasure is absent in a man. But this is not the case with Krishna, who is Atma Ram, self-satisfied. But that Atma Ram Krishna also at one point of time started feeling that what is the love of Sri Radha and why am I missing her love so much? Dear devotees, this happened especially when our Bhagavan had performed the misadventure of leaving Vrindavan and going somewhere. Where did Bhagavan go? Mathura. First he went to Mathura. Dear devotees, our Bhagavan was very happy in Sri Vrindavan. Very, very happy in Sri Vrindavan. In Sri Vrindavan, he used to perform the joyous activity of playing the flute. And sometimes he would raise his dhoti up to his knees. Very casual, comfortable clothing he used to wear in Vrindavan. One fine day, I don't know what happened. Suddenly he developed an idea. I will no longer remain in the village. I will now become a city dweller. Sometimes people have this idea, I'll no longer stay in the village. I want to improve my status and I'll go to the city. And they end up going to the city. And our Bhagwan also had these plans. Our Brajavasis tried to stop him a lot. They fell in front of the chariot and said, please don't go. You don't know what you will lose when you go from here. But our Bhagwan was thinking, what will happen? At most, these people will cry in separation from me. But I will be happy. But dear devotees, in love, does one person cry or do both people cry? How many of us fallen in love? Hey, Baki Hare Krishna don't fall in love. That's it. I'll make it easy for you. How many of us have fallen in love with our children? We all had children without falling in love, isn't it? Huh? So, in love, does one person cry or both people have to cry? Both people have to cry. Our Bhagwan conveniently forgot this fact. He thought, I will be in Mathura. I will keep hearing of that they are hankering for me. You see, this will validate me. Wow, so important I am that people are crying for me. But our Bhagwan forgot that in love, one person doesn't cry, both people have to cry. And our Bhagwan, after Mathura, he was not satisfied. He went further ahead and entered Dwaraka. In Dwaraka, he happened to marry 16,100 princesses. Now, these 16,100 princesses were rescued from a demon. Does anybody know the name of that demon? Bhaumasur or Narkasur is his name. Now, these various princesses were captured from various parts of the country and they were princesses of various towns, provinces, kingdoms, etc. Bhaumasur had captured them and then Bhagwan came and killed Bhaumasur and rescued all the princesses. But they could not go back to their respective kingdoms because there was fear of society that they would not be accepted again and nobody would marry them. So our Bhagwan is Udar Pani, liberal-handed. He gave his Udar Pani and he married all of them. Acha. There is a possibility, dear devotees, that these princesses, before they were captured by Bhaumasur, they might have had some love interest in their lives before meeting Krishna. It is possible. But fate arranged it in such a way that they had to get married to whom? But amongst all the princesses, there was one special princess who had Krishna as the first love of her life. Which princess had Krishna as the first love of her life? She is very special. Dear devotees, Rukmini's first love of life is Krishna. But who is Krishna's first love of life? Therein lies the difficulty. The difficulty lies in the fact that although Rukmini is the first love, Krishna is the first love of life of Rukmini, but Rukmini is not the first love of life of Sri Krishna. Krishna's first love of life was back in Sri Vrindavan. In Dwaraka, our Bhagwan one fine day was sitting in his palace, and this palace is on the banks of the ocean. On the banks of the ocean, our palace, there is a big window. Bhagwan is looking outside the window. And this palace is radiant. It has jewels studded upon it. And he is sitting in Rukmini's room and he is looking outside the room, outside the window at the ocean. And at this point of time, our poet Sri Rupa Goswami describes a verse in the meter Manda Kranta. I will try to sing it, something happens. So you have to keep this painting in your heart. Our Bhagwan is in which particular location? Dwarka. In whose palace? Rukmini. He is looking at the ocean through a window. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami says suddenly something happened. I'll try to sing, please repeat after me. Ratna Chaya Churita Jaladhau Mandire Dwarkaya. रुक्मिण्यापि प्रबलपुलकोद्भेदमालिङ्गितस्य विश्वं पायान्मसृण यमुना तीरवाणीरकुञ्जे राधा केली परिमल भर ध्यान मूर्छा मुरारे.
Yeah, Gurudev was raving about that lecture, wasn't he?
Ratna Chaya Churita Jaladhau. The palace is such and studded with such jewels. The jewels are giving a reflection on the ocean. Dear devotees, such is the palace. Mandire, in this palace, Dwarakaya, in which
Right, share list. What do I
our
need to?
Bhagwan is sitting on a bed and looking outside the window.
One
Suddenly,
Lamarta.
Rukmini Devi does something which is very unexpected for her.
Alright, well, maybe I should turn this
Rukmini
off.
is Dakshin
Okay,
Swabhava.
Josh, so,
Dakshin Swabhava is very simple
For the
in her
salad,
nature.
right now I have
She doesn't even often joke with Krishna. Krishna jokes with her. Once he played a practical joke on her. And his practical joke was that, Rukmini, do you think you made the right decision by marrying me? People don't know what is my jati, what is my varna. Some people say I am a cowherd. Some people say I am a king. My occupation is not fixed. And Rukmi and Shishupal and all of them, they wanted you to marry somebody much better. Don't know why you fell for me. But there is still some time. Maybe you can change your decision. By the time he has started speaking this, Rukmini fell unconscious. He had to bring out 4 hands to protect her. 2 hands to hold her, 2 hands to caress her hair. And when she woke up, he said, Arey, I was joking with you. Can a householder not even joke with his wife? Acha, you were joking with me. Why didn't you tell me earlier? So this is Rukmini. I hope you're able to understand. Huh? So on one side, there is Rukmini, who is so favorable to him that to the point of being completely submissive, you can say. And on the other hand, there is Satyabhama. Oh my goodness. That type of joke he won't play with Satyabhama. Once she gets angry, she got angry once. He had to fight Indra and get Parijat. Such misadventures are not to be tried with Satyabhama. They are only to be tried with Rukmini. But Rukmini is very submissive, doesn't understand. Acha, you were joking with me. Why didn't you tell me? Arey, these things are not told. You have to understand. Huh? So suddenly one day, Rukmini thought, all right, I'll also play a practical joke on him. Rukminyapi, she entered the room quietly. Prabala pulakod bhedam alingitasyan. Coming from behind him, she suddenly embraced him. Our Bhagwan was not expecting this in the palace of whom? Rukmini. Our Bhagwan started thinking, where am I? He is looking at the ocean, the waves of the ocean, the dark colored ocean, and the sands on the ocean shore. And suddenly I am embraced by whom? Masrina Yamuna Tira Vanira Kunje. Am I on the soft banks of? Was I embraced by Radha? Our Bhagwan at that point of time immediately Fell unconscious right there, dear devotees. Dear devotees, this is what has happened to Bhagwan in Dwarka. Now, we have to ask Krishna one question. You have to help me ask a question, all right? Please repeat after me. Dear Krishna, is everything okay? Yes. And what is the answer, dear devotees? Yes or no? Things are not okay. This is the translation. Prabhu, you try to read. Huh?
In a brilliant jewel-studded palace in Dwarka, Krishna was suddenly embraced by Rukmini, which caused goosebumps on his body and caused him to faint. This fainting was caused due to meditation on the sweet, loving pastimes with Sri Radha that took place in a kunja on the south banks of the Yamuna. May this fainting of Krishna protect the entire world.
May this fainting of Krishna protect the entire world, but first let's protect Krishna, dear devotees. Poet is very generous. May it protect the world. But who will protect Krishna from this feeling of separation? Our Bhagwan remembers Sri Radha was so expert in Vrindavan that sometimes she would express all the emotions simply through her eyes. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan remembers all the sweet pastimes. Especially one time, she was walking through Govardhan. In Govardhan, there is one place called as Dan Ghati. Dan Ghati is a very narrow walking place. In that narrow walking place, she was walking one day and she was expecting someday to meet Krishna. Our Bhagavan was one day hiding in the bushes. And when she was walking, suddenly he came and stopped her way. And he said, "Hey, Ruko, you have to pay tax today." So as soon as he stopped her way, something happened in Sri Radha's eyes. This is described by Sri Rupa Goswami in Dan Keli Kaumudi. Dear devotees, this verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. I'll try to sing it. Many of us know the meter. Please sing along with me. All right, let's sing together. Antasmeratayojvala jalakana Vyakirna Pakshmankuram Kinchit Patalitanchalarasikato Sita Kunchati Rudhaya Pati Madhavena Vyabhugnatarutam Radhayam Kila Kinchita Sabakini Drishti Shriyam Bhakriyam. Our Bhagwan suddenly stopped her. She was not expecting to be stopped. And then suddenly when he stopped her, she developed a bouquet of emotions in her eyes. Please hear the emotions in Sri Radha's eyes. Antah smera tayojvala. Antah smera. One is smiling outside and one is smiling through the eyes. Have you seen someone smiling through the eyes? This is what you call smiling through the eyes. So that is called antah smera. A person usually smiles through the lips, but Sri Radha managed to smile through her antah smerata yojvala. Rasikato jalakana vyakirna pakshmankura. Dear devotees, she had developed tears of joy, but she did not want to cry immediately in front of him. So she immediately fluttered her eyes so that the tears would go away. But the remnant drops of tears are still on her eyebrows. So her eyes are also decorated, her eyelashes are decorated with small drops of tears which were not shed, but these were tears of joy. Kinchit patalitanchala. The corners of her eyes have become slightly reddish. Rasikata utsikta. Her eyes appear fully drenched in rasa. Rasa means her eyes appear wet. Some eyes appear very dry and some eyes appear wet due to rasa. And puraha kunchati. Her eyes are slightly contracted when she gives a sidelong glance to him. Ruddhaya Pati Madhavena. All this happened when she was suddenly stopped on the path. By whom, dear devotees? Madhava. Madhura Vyabhugna Tarottara. And her Tara, the iris in her eyes is also shining at the same time. By these emotions itself, she captured the attention of Sri Krishna. Our Bhagavan wanted to see exactly that in her eyes that day. Our Bhagavan was so impressed at this point of time. Simply by the movement of her eyes, she managed to capture the attention of Bhagavan. Radhaya kila kinchitas tabakini. May this bouquet of emotions of Sri Radha that she expressed not through her bodily limbs, but simply through her eyes. Drishti Shriyam Vahakriyat. May it ensure auspiciousness for all of you wonderful devotees. This is the translation. Prabhu, kindly read.
On being stopped by Madhava, as she was walking down the path, Radha's eyes developed a bouquet of wonderful emotions. These eyes glistered into her inner smile. Her eyelashes got adorned with unshed tears of joy. Corners of the eyes got reddish and drenched with joyous emotions. These eyes slightly contracted, glancing in a sidelong manner. May this glance of Sri Radha, containing the killer Pinchita, bouquet of various emotions, ensure auspiciousness for all.
Dear devotees, this was the mood of Sri Radha. Acha, in Dwaraka, our Bhagwan cannot try any of this. In Dwaraka, can Bhagwan come and suddenly stop Rukmini? Hey, stop! Give me tax. That is not possible. Or Maharaj, what are you doing? You are taking tax from the entire kingdom. Huh? What are you doing here? So our Bhagwan, see, within his heart, he has always remained a cowherd. Externally, he has to dress like a king. But that cowherdness has not left his heart. And it is very difficult because since the day he left Vrindavan, our Bhagwan has not played on the flute. Since the day he left Vrindavan, he didn't play on the flute. In Dwaraka, he has to meet with the sophisticated ladies of Dwaraka. They have to behave in a certain way. Every lady wants to be given one separate palace. Isn't it so? How many palaces for 16,100 queens? 16,100. And Bhagavan has to be personally present in each and every palace. Otherwise, there will be, big problem. Acha, how many palaces did he give the gopis? When he called all of them in the middle of the night, he called all of them together, the devotees. None of them was given a single palace or a single room by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Dear devotees, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, I'll ask a few questions. Is the name of Nanda and Yashoda mentioned? Is the name of Krishna's friends like Sridama, Sudama, Subal, etc. mentioned? Is the name of Krishna's queens, Rukmini, etc. mentioned? Is the name of any single gopi mentioned? Why? Did they commit some mistake? You can search all the 12 cantos, 18,000 verses. Not even a single gopi's name is mentioned. Why? Society doesn't acknowledge this relationship. Na? What will the society think? If Shukadev Goswami starts naming all of them, society doesn't acknowledge this relationship. Our Bhagwan is also hesitant to speak in front of people in Dwarka. Oh, I am hankering for Sri Radha. The people in Dwarka will say, why are you hankering for those cowherds? Then Nanda and Yashoda, your foster parents. They might have fed you in your childhood, that's okay. But why are you hankering for those cowherds, those villagers? Now you have sophisticated things of Dwarka. But our Bhagwan, within his heart, was always that cowherd boy. And never forgot this. Sri Rupa Goswami mentions this again and again. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan remembers, see, Rukmini never gets sulky. It is almost impossible to make her sulky. But he remembers in Sri Vrindavan, Sri Radha would get sulky for no reason whatsoever. This is a technical name there is in Sanskrit. Rupa Goswami gives. Please repeat after me. Ahaituka man. Ahaituka means without reason. Man means sulkiness. One fine day, our Bhagwan wanted to see the sulky face of Sri Radha. When he arrived in his meeting with Sri Radha looked at him and immediately understood that our Bhagwan wants to see her sulky face. Suddenly, in a few moments, our Sri Radha started glancing at him sulkily. Angrily, she started glancing at him. Our Bhagwan said, "What happened?" She didn't say anything. And what happened? Tell me, why are you angry? After some time, Sri Radha said, "Go and pick flowers for me. All flowers should be white color." "Oh, why didn't you tell me?" "I will do." Our Bhagwan went to the kunja nearby and plucked on flowers of which color? White color. "Today I want you to pick flowers of white color." After he came back and he had a big basket of flowers, Sri Radha continued to glance angrily at him. "Arey, what happened now? Why are you still angry at me?" So this is mentioned by Sri Rupa Goswami in his literature. This is in the meter Malini. I will try to sing. Please repeat after me. Every line I'll break into two parts. Ahamiha vichinomi Twadgiraiva prasuram Kathaya kathama kande Chandi vacham yamase Viditamupadhinalam Radhike shadhikena Priya sakhi kusumena Shrotramuttam sayami. They got a big basket of white flowers and she is still looking angrily at him. Krishna said, Ahamiha vichinomi. I am plucking flowers here. Tvad giraiva, by your order. Kathaya katham akande. Without any reason, please tell me. Chandi. You know Chandi, huh? Oh, fierce one. Chandi, huh? Katham akande. Kathaya katham akande. Without any reason, oh Chandi. Vacham yamasi. Why are you keeping quiet? Acha. Viditam upadhinalam. Now I understood. I plucked flowers so that I can decorate your ears. So why didn't you tell me? Huh? Viditam upadhinalam. Radhike. Shadhikena. Radhika, tell me, instruct me. Priya Sakhi Kusumena. Which flower I should use? Shrotram Uttam Sayami. To decorate your ears. Are you don't say anything and you become angry. Sri Radha knows he wants exactly that. Therefore, she is angry. So this is the reason why she becomes angry from time to time. Sulkiness is very much needed for a loving relationship. We are devotees. Huh? If there is no sulkiness, there is no question of love. You only express disappointment with a person whom you love. We don't become disappointed with people whom we do not love. We are devotees. Disappointment is only expressed with people whom we love. So this is Sri Radha getting sulky without a reason. Not so true. Would you like to read translation?
Hey, by your order, I had gone to collect flowers. O Chandike, fierce one, what happened now? Why are you salty for no reason? I understand now, Radhike. My dear Saki, please tell me which flower I should use to decorate your ears.
So this was ahaitukman, sulkiness without reason. Sometimes there would be sahaitukman. Sahaitukman means sulkiness with reason. Sometimes Sri Radha would call Krishna, tomorrow you should come in the evening at this time. Our Bhagwan would be running on Indian Standard Time. It's 2 hours late. So I've always said this. People ask Indian people, why are you late? We are late, proudly late, no problem. Inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. Correct? No? That's what you hear on the railway station. Why are you late? Because evam parampara praptam. This received in Guru Parampara. Okay, so Yatha Guru Tatha Shishya, hai na? As the Guru is, the disciples also are. We are all late, dear devotees. But she used to get angry. Then our Bhagwan used to find many wonderful ways to placate or to relieve her mark, relieve her sulkiness. You see, dear devotees, all these verses are so nice. There is no ashlilta, there is no vulgarity in any of the verses. This is Sri Rupa Goswami's method of presenting love between Sri Radha and Krishna. These are elevated subject matters, but unless we get a slight taste of what it is, what Krishna Bhakti is ahead for us, till that time we will remain stuck in the impersonal net of anartha nivriti. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. Though principles are good, we should follow them. But beyond the no, no, neti, neti, there is some asti, that there is something which exists positive beyond the domain of the negatives. And this is what is the positive, dear devotees. Gradually, we should learn to relish some of the positives that are present in the domain of Sri Krishna Bhakti. Dear devotees, one fine day, our Bhagwan ended up offending Sri Radha because he was 2 hours late. She got Sa Haitukaman. Sa Haitukaman means she got sulky for a reason. And then she quickly disappeared into her kunja, her place where she used to hide with her sakhis. After disappearing into the kunja, our Bhagwan came to that kunja and started knocking on the door. There was no response. Our Bhagwan kept knocking on the door for long, but there is no response. Finally, Lalita Sakhi opened the door slightly only so that she can come outside. Our Bhagwan became happy. Maybe now the door will open. Closed the door and said, if you want your benefit, quickly go away. No staying here. No, no. You take our Sakhi, our Sri Radha for granted so much. You think just because she's simple hearted, you will take advantage of her. Then he started giving explanation, but you know, today you word juggler, keep quiet. Our Bhagwan bent down his head, still smiling. What do you call such a person who smiles after making? Ah, shameless. Wonderful. You should decorate Krishna with such ornaments every day. Ah, every day we decorate. Yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato. What is meaning of lampato? Nobody knows? Shikshashtaka? Dibauchi. Wonderful. Every morning we are coming and calling Krishna what? Dibauchi. Krishna loves to hear gali. You know what is gali? Huh? Loving abusive words is known as gali. Krishna loves gali. In his heart, he still a cowherd. Cowherd love to give gali. Kings don't give gali. Sophisticated princesses don't give gali. Who gives gali? Ah, cowards give gali. It is their culture. How Krishna loves to hear gali. But it has to come from a loving devotee, not from Shishupal. Alright, dear everyone. To give gali in the mood of a loving devotee, Bhagwan will accept it. But don't give gali in unfavorable mood. Gali also, loving abusive words in a favorable mood is appreciated by Sri Krishna. But that devotee has to be elevated. Not that a newcomer is giving gali. Right? So our Bhagwan returned with his head bowed down. When he returned to Nanda Maharaj's palace, he thought what to do. I have committed a big mistake today. So I should do something to placate, to remove Sri Radha's man, sulkiness. Then he suddenly had an idea. He went to Nanda Maharaj. Baba, Baba, I want something. Nanda Maharaj, what do you want? I have a desire since many days. Acha, what desire do you have? Every morning we invite so many guests for our morning assembly. Tomorrow can we invite Maharaj Vrishabhanu? Sure, with family. Huh? That night a messenger was sent. Maharaj Vrishabhanu, please come with your entire family. Sri Radha, Kirtida, Devi. So Sri Radha came to know this person is such a ruffian. He will first offend me, then he will force me to come to his place. Do you understand, dear devotees? What is the nature of Sri Krishna? So then, next day she came. Dear devotees, there was a big morning assembly, like this assembly, the big hall. On one side, Sri Krishna and his parents are there. On the other side, Sri Radha and her relatives are there. And there is sun coming through the windows. and our Bhagavan is trying to wave his hands. See, that she is skilled at that. Then our Bhagavan then did something. Usually I have spoken this verse previously, but I am today showing this verse again for a very special reason. So dear devotees, this verse is about placating Sri Radha's man, placating her sulkiness. This verse is in the meter Shikharini, same as Jagannath Ashtakam. Let's try to sing together, although the meter is difficult to sing, but still let's try together. Shiraschayam Krishna Swayam Akrita Bhujam Shanti Pitadi Pratikrita Iti Krishna Krishna Kyanunayam Prasam Our Krishna is waving at her, she is not paying any attention to him. Suddenly our Bhagavan does something at that particular point of time. Shiras Chayam Krishna. Krishna takes the chaya, the shadow of his head. And Swayam Akreta places that shadow. Where does he place? Radha Charanayo. At the feet of whom? She sees that this shadow is coming towards me. She wants to go away, but there is wall behind. Notice she can't run behind. Suddenly the shadow comes and touches her feet. Our Sri Radha is most pleased. Our Bhagwan has apologized. But he has his unique way of apologizing. So she also has her unique way of forgiving. Bhujavalli Chayam. She takes the shadow of both of her hands and places it on the shadow of the head of Shri Krishna. Iti Krida Kope. She starts laughing there. Dear devotees. Because it was sulkiness out of fun. She will not become sulky beyond a certain point. When Krishna wants her to be happy for the pleasure of Krishna, she will become happy again. And when Krishna wants her to become sulky for the pleasure of Krishna, she will become sulky. She has her own personality. She's not a robot. But she will align her mood very expertly with the mood of Sri Krishna. Sri Rupa Goswami says, Anunaya Prasado Jiyas, all glories to this Anunaya, this act of asking forgiveness, and Prasada, this act of bestowing forgiveness. Why Guru Samaksham Kritavato? Both of them managed to do it in front of their parents, and the parents never even came to know of it. Dear devotees. How many of us have asked for forgiveness to our wives or husbands in front of our parents? Please raise your hands. See, but you can muster up the courage. Asking for forgiveness itself is such a big damage to our ego, isn't it? That too in front of the parents, it is even more difficult. But our Bhagavan managed to ask forgiveness in front of his parents. Oh, Radha, I did not call you here to prove my superiority. I wanted to say I ask forgiveness in front of your entire family. So I am touching your feet in front of your entire family. So this expertise, it took Sri Radha by surprise, and she was most pleased by this act of Sri Krishna. Right? So Rohini Nandan Prabhu, kindly read the translation loudly.
In order to placate Sri Radha, Krishna voluntarily placed the shadow of his head at her feet. She too put the shadow of both her palms on the shadow of the head of Krishna. In this way, both of them, seated in front of their seniors, pacified each other and relieved their sulkiness. May this act of placation by Krishna and loving forgiveness by Sri Radha be victorious in all the worlds.
So dear devotees, I never had a proper painting for this verse. I always used to use a painting where Krishna is falling at the feet of Radha, but where he was directly falling at her feet. There was no painting of him using his head shadow. So there's a very wonderful Vaishnavi who stays in Slovenia. Her name is Purnamasi Devi. She heard this verse and she decided to make a painting for it in the Kerala mural style. So she learned the Kerala mural style and she made a painting for this. So this painting was created specifically for this verse, dear devotees. This is the painting that she created for this verse. This is a painting created. Usually I use that silly computer sometimes to create artificial art, but this is real art. Real devotees. Sometimes I cannot find real art, so I have to use blind uncle because blind uncle is better than no uncle. But this is real art. It was painted by a real human being, a Vaishnavi who has feelings for Bhagwan in her heart. The feelings came out on the canvas. Dear devotees. So this is what devotees are supposed to do. Sahitya, Sangeet, Kala. Three things we should be very much appreciative of. Sahitya, literature, Sangeet, music, and Kala, 64 arts. So a Vaishnava should be expert at least in one of these three things. So dear devotees, this is a very wonderful painting. This is the reason I showed this first. The style is Kerala mural style. Although the devotee, the lady Vaishnavi Purnamasi Devi, she's from Slovenia. She's born in Slovenia, but she learned this Kerala style of painting and made this painting. It's a wonderful offering to Sri Rupa Goswami. We can't imagine how pleased Sri Rupa Goswami will be when he sees that such paintings are being drawn for the verses that he wrote in Sri Padyavali. So dear devotees, this is what Sri Krishna achieved through his particular act of asking forgiveness. Acha, then Krishna remembers in Dwarka, I used to celebrate Holi. And where is Holi celebrated to the fullest possible extent? In Vrindavan and in Varshana. So dear devotees, he remembers the holy celebrations in Vraja and it appeared something like this, dear devotees. In Dwarka, the queens come on Holi. They will take little coloring. Sophisticated people don't play Holi, with how do cowards play Holi? That's a different Holi, dear devotees. Now, some of us may not like that type of Holi. Some of us may be Dwarka Vasis. That's okay. But in those who are attached to Sri Vrindavan, for them this Holi is very wonderful. Acha, nowadays the Holi has taken a Vikrit Swarup. There are some terrible things that happen in Holi. Okay? So don't confuse this Holi with that Holi. Because what the Holi that takes place today, they take that silver chemical paint and they will apply and everybody will appear like silver ghosts. So that Holi is Ayavaha. It enthuses Bibhatsaras, horror within us. But this Holi is not like that, dear devotees. This Holi is very sweet, but there is also an element of spice in this particular Holi. No Holi without Gali. Please remember, okay? No Holi without Gali. Gali has to be there. What is Gali? Loving abusive words. Not because Shishupal gave abusive words. What is Gali? Loving abusive words. Who says? Sri Jiva Goswami says in Gopal Champu. This meter is the same as Brahma Samhita. Please sing after me. Narmanga Gali Rudaka Kshipayantra Yukte. Dandi Prapatana Nivartana Kelirite. कांताकृति व्यतिकृत ग्रहणं सखीना साहाय्यकं युधि बभौ हरिहोरिकाया. What happened in Holi? Narmanga Gali. First and foremost, there was what? Gali. What is Gali? Jiva Goswami says Narma Anga. The most important part of a loving relationship is the ability to give what? Actually, a relationship is most loving when you have the freedom to give a loving abusive word. See, abusive words often degrade the other person. Therefore, people don't like abusive words. But there are some galis which hurt the ego but don't degrade the person. I hope you are able to understand. That is gali in Vraja. For example, I'll give a gali. Okay, sometimes Sri Radha would say to Krishna, "Oh Gandharva Nandan." You know what is Gandharva Nandan? That is, it appears as son of Gandharva. A donkey is known as Gandharva Nandan. Why? Because when the donkey brays, Have you heard donkey brain? Huh? Don't try to imitate. We have imitated many things, but I will not try to imitate it. So he gives the donkey's braying gives Nandan gives a lot of happiness to the Gandharva. The Gandharva start laughing when they hear the donkey's braying. So one of the names of a donkey in Sanskrit is what? Gandharva Nandan. So Sri Radha will say, "Are Gandharva Nandan, you are here today." So then he will say, "Acha Vrishabhanuja, you are here today." Huh? So what is Vrishabhanuja? Daughter of Vrishabhanu. Vrishab also means bull. Anuja means lower than a bull. I hope you are able. Huh? Arey, Vrishabhanuja. Oh, whose intelligence is lesser than a bull. You are here today. So this is Narmanga, Gali. Huh? So the sophisticated Dwarkavasi will not understand this thing. For them, oh my God, you gave Gali. How dare you give Gali to a queen? So that is not our Bhagavan misses this. So Narmanga Gali, Udakakshipa Yantra Yuktir, and then there were syringes to throw water on each other. Dandi Prapatana, there are sticks to threaten each other. Don't come here. Nivartana Keli Riti, and then there were many techniques to protect oneself from the stick attack. And then Kanta Kriti Vyatikrita, making others fall down in water and falling oneself down in the water. Sahayakam Yudhi, there was a war. Hari Hori Kaya in Bhagwan Hari's holy celebration in Sri Vraja. This, dear devotees, is the translation. Kindly read, Prabhu.
During holy celebration, there was Gali, giving loving abusive words, which are a very important part of a loving relationship. Besides Gali, there was profuse use of water spraying guns, etc., making others fall down by using sticks, attacks and counterattacks by gopis and Krishna.
There were so many attacks and counterattacks, they painted the face of Madhumangal black. And the eye was painted one round circle like so. He came with half his face black and eye rounded. He came with Krishna said, "This is war. Now we have to go. That's enough." There were elaborate plans to take revenge, dear devotees. It's a very wonderful book called Madhukeli Valli by Sri Govardhan Bhatta, who's the descendant of Gadadhar Bhatta, who's a disciple of Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So in the disciplic succession of Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, there's a literature Madhukeli Valli, which was written specifically to glorify the holy pastime. I managed to find one copy of Madhukeli Valli, which was printed in Govardhan by Babaji. And this one copy, when I found, I thought it is utmost duty to digitize the copy. So this digital copy of Madhukeli Valli with a Hindi translation is available on the internet website Archive. Archive is a United States website which digitizes and preserves many of the rare works for everybody to see and download. So those who read Sanskrit and those who would like to relish the holy pastime can relish it in the original Sanskrit with Hindi translation. Madhukeli Valli is the name of the literature. Anyway, this was holy. And there's big war going on at that point of time. But it's a very loving war, dear devotees. And Bhagwan remembers, but he can't have any of this in Dwaraka. In Dwaraka, if you try to attack with sticks on queens, etc., they are Kshatriya, they will not take the attack so easily. When queens attack, Bhagwan will have to run because he is a cowherd still, and they are Kshatriya ladies. So Bhagwan better be careful with the Kshatriya ladies. So, dear devotees, our Bhagwan remembers so many wonderful pastimes used to take place at Govardhan. When suddenly one fine day he again stopped Sri Radha and the other Sakhis in Govardhan. You have to pay tax. Come on, very quickly you have to pay tax. Now, which tax, dear devotees? This is not money, yeah? So these children also know. Huh? You have to give tax, butter, and what are you carrying? So they asked, who are you? Don't you know I am Kamsa's personal tax collector? Acha. At that time, Subal Sakha, he said, first and foremost, you should pay respect to our chief toll collector. Pay respect to our assistant of Kamsa. So Vishaka Sakhi laughed and said, we know very well how worthy of respect this person is. Huh? So, but today we have taken a vow. What vow? Purnamasi Devi told us there is a yagya going on, fire sacrifice going on. All of this milk, yogurt, etc. is for that fire sacrifice. We can't pay obeisances to anybody we only pay obeisances to Brahmanas who are carrying out the sacrifice. Acha. Arjun Sakha came there and Arjun Sakha said, our chief toll collector also has taken a vow today. There is no harm in paying obeisances by one person who's performing vow to another person who's performing a vow. So please pay obeisances to our Krishna. They wanted Sri Radha to bend down in front of Sri Krishna and give tax. So then Lalita Sakhi asked something. Okay. Dear devotees, what did Lalita Sakhi ask? All of you say. What vow has he taken? Suddenly Krishna jumps and says something. Now you have to repeat the name of the vow that Krishna says. Okay? Please repeat after me. Nityam Avalar Buddha Vijay Vasanadanam Namavratam. अरे बोलो ऐसे नहीं Krishna will laugh on you. I will once again here. Nityam Avalar Buddha Vijay Vasanadanam Namavratam. अरे बोलो 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 नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं नित्यम अवलार बुद्ध विजय वसनाम नामव्रतम अरे अभी तो बोलो बोलो अच्छा आई विल मेक इट इजी फॉर यू ठीक है हाँ चलो प्लीज से नित्यम अबल अर्बुद बीज वसन दानम नाम व्रतम नाम व्रतम व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द वाव नित्यम अबल अर्बुद द्विज वसन दानम ठीक है आई विल स्पीक द ओरिजिनल वर्ड्स एंड यू स्पीक द ट्रांसलेशन ठीक है नित्यम अबल अर्बुद द्विज वसन दानम नाम व्रतम
This is the meaning.
so what vow is it Rohini Nandan Prabhu can you kindly read
Vow of donating cloth every day to 100 million helpless brahmanas.
Sri Radha understood this person is big Rafi and he has hidden meaning within it. Let's go through it again, dear devotees. Okay? Because this vow doesn't make sense. All right, once again, what did Lalita Sakhi say? Now, this time you have to. Nitya Mogalar Buddha Vijay Vasanatanam Nama Vratam. Krishna will laugh on you if you do like this. Acha, no problem. Okay. Once again, dear devotees, what was Krishna intending to say? Nityam, Abala, Arbuda, Dvija, Vasanam, Tana, Nama.
This is the meaning.
You see, this person deserves daily gali. You understand? No? There's a reason why we call him Lampot every day. What is the vow, Rohini Nandan Prabhu?
The daily vow of kissing 100 million helpless ladies passing through this hall.
Wow, wow, wow. What a civilized person you are. This is how civilized people behave, isn't it? Dear devotees, none of this is possible in which place? Because Dwarka, he got married and marriage is the end of all love, isn't it? Why are you laughing? Love is all good and then we invite the entire society in front of thousands of people. We exchange rings and say, yeah, now I commit unto you till death as husband and wife. Oh my goodness. And then she says, I accept you as my husband. I accept you as my wife. Now the marriage is solemnized, with Agni and all the priests there. And then gradually, so much formality in the institution of marriage. Our Bhagavan remembers that informal love that he had in Sri Vrindavan. But this love will never be acknowledged by the society. Never be acknowledged by the society. Our Bhagavan remembers when he was in Vrindavan, not married, free person, no responsibility, so happy. Dear devotees, he used to play the flutes to attract the minds of the gopis. Srimad Bhagavatam describes, please repeat. Jagau kalam vam adrisham manoharam. Jagau kalam. Krishna played a sweet tune on the flute, which was manoharam. It attracted the minds. Vamadrisham of the beautiful eyed gopis. Krishna remembers that he used to play the flute in order to attract the minds of the gopis. The devotee commentator Sri Harisuri at this point of time says, dear devotees, there is a wonderful reason why Sri Krishna attracted the mind of the gopis. Would you like to know the reason why Sri Krishna attracted the mind of the gopis, dear devotees? So Sri Harisuri composes a verse in the meter Arya. Arya is a difficult meter to sing. Arya durlabhataya bharya. One meaning, Arya meter is very difficult to sing. Second meaning, Arya, a chaste person is very difficult to find as a spouse. Arya, dear devotees. So two meanings, Arya durlabhataya bharya. But still, Sri Harisuri composes a meter in a verse in the meter Arya. I'll try to sing. Please repeat after me. Ma bhuda samanurapi adharma samsparsha ityanantatma sukrita sukrita nidanam मन एवादौ जहार सद्गीत्या मन एवादौ जहार सद्गीत्या. Dear devotees, Ma Bhud Asam Anurapi. Let there not be even the slightest touch of adharma, of irreligion for these gopis. Because in the future, many people will accuse that the gopis performed adharma. What is adharma, dear devotees? Irreligiosity. By associating with Krishna, who is not married to them. In the future, let nobody say that the gopis performed adharma. Sri Harisuri says, for this reason, Sukrita Sukrita Nidanam. What is the root cause of all pious and impious desires? Mind. Our Bhagavan first snatched the mind. So that the mind is with Sri Krishna. And then any pious or impious accusations should not be on the gopis. Those accusations will be with whom? Sri Krishna. Dear devotees, for this reason, Bhagavan first snatched their mind by playing the flute. So that any accusations of piety and impiety should not come upon whom? Gopis. Sri Harisuri wants to protect the reputation of the gopis from adharma. Let the accusation come to this person. Who is the Sri Krishna? Not to the gopis, the dearmost devotees. Dear devotees, for this reason. Kindly read the translation, Prabhu.
Let there not be the slightest touch of impiety for these gopis. Thinking in this way, the Lord of unlimited living entities used his flute play to steal away the minds, the root cause of all piety and impiety in this world.
Dear devotees, then suddenly he said to the gopis, Arey, why have you come here? In the middle of the night, what brings you here? Please go back. Did the gopis agree to his proposal, dear devotees? They did not agree to his proposal. And suddenly then they exhibited the most wonderful dance. I'll not get into the details of that, but this dance is described in the 10th canto. It is the main part of the 10th canto. What is the name of that dance, dear devotees? Rasa. This Rasa, do you want to hear the sound of the Rasa Leela, dear devotees? One nice verse. There is a very nice verse which describes the sound of this dance. I will sing it. Please repeat after me. This verse is from a very rare Gaudiya Vaishnava literature called Amod Mahakavyam by Sri Anup Narayan Bhattacharya, who is again in the disciplic succession of Sri Gadadhar Pandit. And he composed a wonderful literature specifically glorifying this pastime, Amod Mahakavyam. There he is describing. Please repeat after me. Abhuvanatraya Manasaranjam Prattamudunnati Nirjita Janjam Tajagruhur Harinupur Shinjam. Abhuvanatraya Manas Ranjam. There was a sound which stole the hearts of the entire three worlds. Prattamudunnati Nirjita Jhamjam. This sound took over the sound of the tinkling anklet bells of the gopis. Ta Jagruhur, everybody heard. Hari Nupura Shinjam, the sound of Hari's tinkling ankle bells. Dear devotees, did you hear that sound? Hari, hear the sound of Hari's ankle bells. Abhuvanatraya Manasaranjam. Prattamudunnati Nirjita Jamjam. Tajagrahur Hari Nupura Shinjam. Jum 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 jum. Now you heard the sound. Kindly read this.
The gopis heard the sound which delights the minds of the three worlds, which gave them great joy and which gradually took over the tinkling of their ankle bells. This was the sound of Hari's ankle bells. Jum juma jum juma jum juma jum jum.
Wow, you're singing that. Yeah, our Rohini and then Prabhu is Rasik. Dear devotees, in that particular Ras pastime, I'm coming to a conclusion because these are all the things that Bhagwan misses in Vrindavan. Please keep all of these paintings in your heart, and dear devotees, don't forget. It's very important to remember these at the time of death. Very important to have samadhi, one pointed attention on any one of these particular pastimes at the moment of death. Dear devotees, Sri Harisuri says at this point of time, in this particular pastime of Rasa Leela, everything was liberated. He says, please repeat. Kesha mukta guno mukto adbhutam suratotsave chitram mukta punarmukta sumanasopi cha. In this pastime of Ras Leela, Kesha Mukta, Kesha got liberated. What is the meaning of Kesha, dear devotees? Kesha Mukta. In the dancing, the Kesha got liberated. Guno Mukto, the Gunas. What is Gunas? Strings of the clothes got liberated. Na Adbhutam, nothing surprising in this wonderful festival. But Chitram, what surprises me? Mukta Punar Mukta, even the Mukta. What is the meaning of Mukta? Pearls. Because they are tied with a tight string. They also got liberated. And Mukta Sumanasa picture, even the Sumanasa. What is Sumanasa? Flowers also got liberated because flowers are also strung tightly. So this was such a wonderful dance. Even Mukta, the pearls got liberated. And even the flowers which were tightly strung got liberated. Everything was liberated, dear devotees. Good verse. It is not Sri Harisuri unless there is a surprise. Dear devotees, once again. Kesha Mukta Guno Mukto Utam Suratotsave Chitram Mukta Punarmukta Sumanasopi cha. Kesha, Ka refers to Brahma and Isha refers to Shiva. Ka Isha, Kesha. Both of them got liberated by seeing this pastime. Who got liberated? Brahma and Shiva. Guno Mukto, even the modes of material nature felt liberated. Na Adbhutam, are nothing surprising about it. Chitram, but what surprises me? Mukta Punar Mukta. Even those who were thinking themselves as liberated due to impersonal realization, they also got liberated. Even the impersonalist felt liberated. And Mukta Sumanaso Picha. Even the Sumanasa, beautiful minded devotees also felt liberated. Dear devotees. Such a wonderful pastime. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan misses all of this. In which particular kingdom? And he will always keep hankering. Always keep hankering. Therefore, our duty during Rath Yatra. Is Rath Yatra coming up? our duty during Rath Yatra is to pull that Krishna, big ego, I will not go to Vrindavan. Right? He has to be pulled to Sri Vrindavan by the using of ropes. He has to be pulled to Sri Vrindavan. And in the mood of the gopis, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, pulled Bhagwan's chariot in Jagannath Puri. So this, dear devotees, is our Sri Krishna's pastimes in Sri Vrindavan, which he always misses in Dwaraka. At one point of time, he gave up the kingdom of Dwaraka, gave it to Ugrasen, and retired from his ruling. Ugrasen became the formal king. Bhagwan was simply assisting in some matters. Bhagwan gave up the ruling of Dwaraka and gave the main, mantle of the kingdom to Maharaj Ugrasen, because he was always remembering somebody. Whom was he remembering? Brajavasis. It is our duty to glorify that love which was never mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Whose name was not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam? Radha and the gopis. So in every deity that we name, whose name will come first? Radha. In the Mahamantra, whose name will come first? We will ensure that what was not mentioned back then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we will bring it out. Let everybody know who Krishna's first love of life was, for whom he has the most special affection. Dear devotees, this is a Gaudiya Vaishnava. A Gaudiya Vaishnava is actually first and foremost a servant of Sri Radha. And because Sri Radha loves Krishna, therefore we love Krishna. Otherwise, we have no business making love to a crooked person. No, independently don't approach. Very crooked person. It is highly unadvisable to approach a very crooked person unless you are sheltered under somebody who knows how to give a befitting reply. Who is that person, dear devotees? Sri Radha. Therefore, service to Sri Radha is actually Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the crux of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. With this, dear devotees, I will pause my speech. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat. Yadatra sauschavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skalitam kinchit. If I made any mistake in speaking, vidvamsah, your learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct any mistakes. Yadatra sauschavam kinchit. If there's anything nice in the presentation, please know. Tad guroreva. It belongs to my Guru Janas. Me nahi. It doesn't belong to me. I'm very, very thankful to each and every one of you who kindly came here to listen. Thank you, Mother Urmila, for kindly being here. Thank you for gracing the assembly. And thank you, Mother Leela Shakti, for thank you. Thank you very much, dear devotees. So, no, therefore I took care that the entire presentation should be completed before you leave. Thanks. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you to the Zoom devotees if you are able to hear me. Okay.